Clothing touches your skin every single day. For seniors, that constant contact can trigger rashes, hormone disruption, and even respiratory distress. From fabrics treated with carcinogenic chemicals to materials harboring dangerous bacteria, what you wear might be slowly poisoning you. Today, we're exposing 11 clothing fabrics you should avoid at all costs, and the 2 that are actually safe for your health. Coming in at number 11, we've got conventional cotton. Walk into any department store, and you'll see it everywhere. Soft white t-shirts, comfortable bed sheets, breathable summer dresses. Cotton is marketed as the natural choice, the safe choice, the healthy choice for sensitive skin. Brands like Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, and Gildan plaster their packaging with images of fluffy white cotton bowls against blue skies. They promise comfort, breathability, and purity. But here's what they're not telling you. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, cotton crops account for 16% of global insecticide use, despite occupying only 2.5% of cultivated land. That's not a typo. One of the most chemically intensive crops on the planet is being pressed directly against your largest organ, your skin. These pesticides don't just disappear after harvest. They embed themselves deep in the cotton fibers. Organophosphates, carbamates, neonicotinoids. These chemicals have names you can't pronounce and effects you don't want. For seniors taking blood pressure medication or blood thinners, the chemical exposure compounds existing vulnerabilities. Your compromised immune system can't fight off the contact dermatitis that appears as red, itchy welts across your chest and arms. The soft white cotton shirt you trusted becomes a delivery system for agricultural poisons. You pull it over your head in the morning, and that faint chemical smell, the one you've learned to ignore, is your first warning. By midday, your skin is reacting. By evening, you're scratching. The breathability that cotton promises becomes irrelevant when the fabric itself is making you sick. Brands know this. They've known it for decades. But conventional cotton is cheap to produce and profitable to sell, so the warnings stay buried in fine print. Nobody reads. Your dermatologist might suggest switching fabrics, but she won't tell you the cotton you've worn your entire life has been treated with neurotoxic pesticides. The industry counts on your ignorance. They count on you trusting that natural label while they harvest crops drenched in chemicals banned in other countries. For seniors with respiratory sensitivities, even folding laundry can trigger reactions. Those cotton towels fresh from the dryer release particulates you inhale with every breath. Is it any wonder that cotton, the fabric we've trusted since childhood, has betrayed that trust so completely? At number 10, polyester makes the list. Open your closet right now. Pull out any shirt, any pair of pants, any jacket, check the label. Chances are overwhelming you'll see polyester listed, either alone or blended with other fabrics. It's in everything. Polyester is the most common synthetic fabric in American closets, and it's essentially plastic. Petroleum-based plastic woven into thread and then sold to you as clothing. Brands like Old Navy, Target's A New Day line, and Walmart's George Collection build entire departments around polyester blends. They promise wrinkle-free convenience, easy care, and affordability. What they deliver is plastic pressed against your skin for 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Polyester doesn't breathe. It can't. It's plastic. When you sweat, and seniors sweat more due to hormonal changes and medications, that moisture has nowhere to go. It pools between the fabric and your skin, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacterial and fungal infections. You've felt it before. That clammy, uncomfortable sensation when you're wearing a polyester shirt on a warm day. Your body is trying to cool itself through evaporation, but the plastic fabric traps everything against your skin. For seniors with diabetes or compromised immune systems, these trapped moisture environments lead directly to skin infections that take weeks to heal. But the real horror of polyester reveals itself in your washing machine. Studies published in Environmental Science and Technology show that a single polyester garment sheds over 700,000 microplastic fibers per wash cycle. 700,000. Those microplastics flow into waterways, enter the food chain, and eventually end up back in your body through the fish you eat and the water you drink. The affordable convenience polyester promises comes with a price tag your body pays over decades. The fabric smells synthetic even when new, that distinctive plastic odor that clings to discount store clothing. The static electricity builds up until you shock yourself touching a doorknob. Your skin suffocates under fabric that will outlive you by centuries, never biodegrading, never breaking down, just shedding plastic particles into your environment with every single wash. Brands market polyester as modern, as practical, as the fabric of the future. They're right about one thing. This petroleum-based plastic will be around long after you're gone, contaminating ecosystems and bodies you'll never see. Now at number 9, we need to talk about Rayon and viscose. The fashion industry loves Rayon. Walk through any H&M, Zara, or J.C. Penney, and you'll find racks of flowing dresses, soft blouses, and silky scarves all made from rayon or viscose. The fabrics drape beautifully. They feel cool against your skin. They move like natural silk but cost a fraction of the price. The marketing tells you it's plant-based, semi-synthetic, a natural alternative to polyester. But rayon is one of the most chemically deceptive fabrics ever created. Rayon manufacturing starts with wood pulp, which sounds natural enough. But transforming wood chips into silky fabric requires dissolving that pulp in carbon disulfide, one of the most toxic industrial chemicals still in widespread use. Carbon disulfide is a known neurotoxin. Workers in rayon factories suffer nervous system damage, reproductive problems, and psychiatric disorders from chronic exposure. The European Union has flagged rayon production repeatedly for its environmental and health hazards. And those chemicals don't just affect factory workers. Trace amounts remain embedded in the finished fabric. When you wear rayon, especially in hot weather when you're sweating, your skin absorbs those chemical residues. For seniors taking multiple medications, adding neurotoxic chemical exposure through clothing creates dangerous interactions nobody warns you about. Your kidneys are already working overtime to filter your blood pressure medication, your cholesterol drugs, your diabetes treatments. Now they're also processing industrial solvents from your summer dress. The fabric itself feels deceptively safe. It's soft, lightweight, breathable in ways polyester never manages. You put on that rayon blouse and it feels like a relief after plastic-based fabrics. That's the betrayal. Brands like H&M and Zara stock entire sections with rayon because it photographs beautifully and costs almost nothing to produce. They advertise it as eco-friendly because it starts with wood pulp, conveniently ignoring the chemical bath required to transform trees into fabric. The European Chemicals Agency has documented that carbon disulfide exposure causes damage to the nervous system, heart, kidneys, and eyes. Yet that same chemical saturates the manufacturing of fabric sold as a natural alternative. Your flowing summer dress, the one that made you feel elegant at your grandson's wedding, was made by dissolving wood in neurotoxic chemicals. And small amounts of those chemicals are still there, pressed against your skin, being absorbed into your bloodstream with every hour you wear it. At number 8, let's examine acrylic. Acrylic shows up everywhere in senior wardrobes. Cozy sweaters, warm blankets, affordable knitwear from brands like Kohl's Croft and Barrow, Target's Universal Thread, and Walmart's Time and True collections. The marketing emphasizes softness and warmth. The price point makes it accessible on fixed incomes. The bright colors don't fade even after dozens of washes. Acrylic seems like the perfect synthetic alternative to expensive wool. But acrylic is plastic, derived from petroleum just like polyester. The manufacturing process uses acrylonitrile, a chemical the Environmental Protection Agency classifies as a probable human carcinogen. That word carcinogen means cancer-causing. You're wrapping yourself in fibers manufactured using cancer-linked chemicals, and nobody at the store mentions this when you're buying that cheerful red cardigan on clearance. For seniors, acrylic presents specific dangers beyond cancer risk. The fabric doesn't regulate body temperature. It traps heat unpredictably, causing you to overheat even when the room feels comfortable to others. If you're taking medications that affect your body's temperature regulation, blood pressure drugs, thyroid medication, antidepressants, wearing acrylic compounds those effects. You wake up at 3 in the morning drenched in sweat under an acrylic blanket, not understanding why your body is malfunctioning. It's not your body, it's the fabric. Acrylic is also highly flammable. It melts when exposed to high heat, and those melted plastic fibers stick to skin, causing severe burns. The National Fire Protection Association has documented cases where acrylic sweaters near stovetops or space heaters caught fire and caused devastating injuries. For seniors with slower reaction times or mobility issues, a flammable sweater becomes a life-threatening hazard. The fabric pills and degrades quickly despite marketing claims of durability. After a few months, your acrylic sweater develops those little balls of fiber across the surface. You're not imagining it. The fabric is literally falling apart, shedding microplastics into your environment with every movement. That soft, affordable warmth comes from plastic manufactured with probable carcinogens. The bright colors fade despite promises. The texture becomes rough and uncomfortable, and all the while you're exposing your skin to petroleum-based fibers that shed particles you inhale and ingest. Brands know acrylic is cheap to produce and easy to market. They also know consumers won't research acrylonitrile or understand what probable human carcinogen actually means. Isn't it strange how clothing brands can use cancer-linked chemicals in fabrics that touch your skin all day? yet still market them as safe and comfortable? Coming in at number 7, we have nylon. Nylon has been around since the 1930s, marketed as a miracle fiber. It's in your hosiery, your underwear, your activewear, your windbreakers. Brands like Legs, No Nonsense, and Hanes Herway build entire product lines around nylon, promising sheer comfort and flexible stretch. For senior women especially, nylon pantyhose and underwear are wardrobe staples that seem impossible to avoid. But nylon is another petroleum-based synthetic that creates serious health problems through prolonged skin contact. The fabric doesn't breathe at all. It traps moisture and heat against your most sensitive skin. For senior women, this creates the perfect environment for yeast infections and urinary tract infections. Your gynecologist might treat the infections, but never asks what underwear you're wearing. Medical professionals consistently warn against nylon in intimate garments because it prevents airflow and creates bacterial breeding grounds. Nylon manufacturing releases nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas 300 times more potent than carbon dioxide. The factories producing your pantyhose have been cited repeatedly for toxic waste violations. The finished nylon products shed microplastics with every wash, just like polyester. But what makes nylon particularly insidious is where it's worn. The fabric sits against mucous membranes and sensitive genital tissue for hours every day. Any chemical residues or plastic particles have direct access to your bloodstream through those highly permeable tissues. You're not just wearing plastic, you're absorbing it through some of the most vulnerable parts of your body. The elastic stretch and smooth finish that nylon promises come with a hidden cost. Reduced circulation in your legs if the pantyhose are too tight, which they usually are. Increased infection risk because bacteria thrive in the trapped moisture environment nylon creates. Chronic irritation that manifests as itching, burning, and discharge you've learned to accept as normal aging. It's not normal. It's your body reacting to plastic fabric in places plastic should never touch. Brands advertise sheer elegance, professional appearance, and all-day comfort. What they deliver is non-breathable plastic pressed against your most sensitive tissues, creating health problems that seem unrelated to clothing choices until you make the connection. Want the real truth about what you're wearing? Subscribe now so you never get blindsided by hidden fabric dangers that could be affecting your health right now. At number 6, Spandex, Lycra, and elastane make the list. These are 3 names for the same synthetic material, polyurethane plastic manufactured into stretchy fibers. It's in everything marketed as flexible, comfortable, or form-fitting. Yoga pants, shapewear, athletic wear, compression garments. Brands like Spanx, Fabletics, and Target's All in Motion incorporate spandex blends into products that promise to smooth shape and support your body. For seniors, spandex presents dangers that go beyond chemical exposure. The tight compression these garments provide restricts blood circulation. If you're taking blood thinners, managing varicose veins, or dealing with lymphedema, spandex-based compression can be medically dangerous. The fabric that promises to smooth your silhouette is actually impeding blood flow to your extremities. You've felt this. You put on those shapewear shorts under a dress, and within an hour your legs are tingling. By the end of the event, you've got visible marks where the elastic bands dug into your thighs. You tell yourself it's worth it for the streamlined appearance, but your cardiovascular system is suffering. For seniors with existing circulation problems, this isn't vanity. It's a health risk. Blood clots form more easily when circulation is restricted. Deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism. These are life-threatening conditions made more likely by tight synthetic garments cutting off proper blood flow. Spandex also shares all the environmental problems of other synthetics. It sheds microplastics with every wash. It never biodegrades. The manufacturing process is petroleum-intensive and energy-intensive. That stretchy comfort comes from plastic polymers that will outlive everyone currently wearing them. The fabric loses its elasticity over time, meaning those expensive yoga pants or shapewear pieces have a limited lifespan despite the investment. The marketing promises all-day comfort and flexibility. What you experience is restricted breathing, compressed organs, and reduced circulation. For seniors managing multiple health conditions, adding spandex compression to the mix creates problems that seem unrelated until you spend a day without the shapewear and realize how much better you feel. At number 5, we need to address flame-retardant treated fabrics. These fabrics seem responsible, even necessary. Children's sleepwear by law must meet flame-resistant standards. Upholstered furniture often contains flame-retardant treatments. Some mattresses are treated. Even adult loungewear from major retailers sometimes includes these chemical treatments. Brands don't advertise flame retardants prominently because consumers don't know to look for them. The chemicals are embedded in the fabric to meet safety regulations regulations, and you're told this protection keeps you safe. But flame-retardant chemicals are endocrine disruptors. Specifically, polybrominated diphenyl ethers, or PBDES, have been linked to thyroid dysfunction, reproductive problems, and neurological damage. These chemicals don't bond permanently to fabric fibers. They leach out gradually with heat, friction, and time. Every time you wear flame-retardant treated pajamas or sit on a treated couch, you're absorbing trace amounts of these chemicals through your skin. For seniors managing thyroid conditions, this additional endocrine disruption destabilizes carefully balanced medications. You take your thyroid pill every morning at the same time, same dose. Your doctor adjusts it periodically based on blood work. But nobody's accounting for the hormone-disrupting chemicals leaching from your pajamas during 8 hours of sleep every night. Your thyroid levels fluctuate unpredictably. You feel fatigued, depressed, forgetful. Your doctor increases your medication. The real problem isn't your thyroid, it's the chemicals in your sleepwear interfering with your hormonal system. The European Union has banned several types of flame retardants that remain legal in the United States. Research shows PBDES accumulate in human tissue over time, building up in fat cells and remaining in your body for years. Infants have been found with PBDE levels in their blood that came from treated fabrics in their environment. If babies are accumulating these chemicals from brief exposure, imagine the accumulation in seniors who've worn treated fabrics for decades. The government mandates these treatments claiming they prevent fire deaths, but research increasingly suggests the cure is worse than the disease. Flame retardant chemicals may reduce flammability slightly while definitely causing long-term hormonal and neurological damage. Brands like Carter's, Gerber, and even some adult sleepwear manufacturers use these treatments without prominent labeling. You buy pajamas thinking you're getting soft, safe fabric. You're getting a chemical delivery system that interferes with your endocrine system every night while you sleep. Why do you think fabrics treated with hormone-disrupting chemicals are still sold as safe, while Europe has banned many of these same treatments? Now, at number 4, let's talk about conventional wool. Wool sounds completely natural and safe. It's been used for thousands of years. It's warm, it breathes, it regulates temperature beautifully. Brands like Pendleton, LL Bean, and Land's End market their wool products as heritage quality, durable investments, natural comfort. The imagery shows peaceful sheep grazing on hillsides, wholesome and pastoral. But conventional wool production involves chemicals that make that peaceful image a complete lie. Sheep raised for commercial wool are routinely dipped in organophosphate pesticides to kill external parasites. These are the same class of chemicals used as nerve agents in chemical warfare. Organophosphates cause nervous system damage in humans through skin contact or inhalation. The chemicals don't wash out of wool completely. Residues remain embedded in the fibers. When you wear conventional wool, you're absorbing those pesticide residues through your skin. For seniors with respiratory sensitivities, wool can trigger severe reactions. You put on that beautiful wool sweater from LL Bean, and within an hour you're wheezing. You assume it's the wool fiber itself causing irritation. It's not. It's the pesticide residues you're inhaling as the fabric warms against your body. Wool processing also uses chlorine-based treatments to prevent shrinkage. This chlorination process, called the Hercoset treatment, permanently alters wool fibers and leaves chemical residues that cause skin irritation and respiratory distress. The itch you feel when wearing wool isn't always natural lanolin or fiber texture. Often, it's your skin reacting to chlorine compounds used in processing. Brands market conventional wool as natural and heritage quality, emphasizing tradition and craftsmanship. They show images of rustic shepherds and sustainable farms. What they hide is the chemical bath every wool garment undergoes between the sheep and your skin. Those pesticides saturating the sheep, the chlorine treatments preventing shrinkage, the chemical dyes creating those rich colors. Your wool sweater has been through extensive chemical processing that directly contradicts the natural image being sold. For seniors with compromised immune systems or chemical sensitivities, conventional wool becomes unwearable. The respiratory irritation, the skin rashes, the general feeling of being unwell when wearing wool. These aren't allergies to natural fibers. These are reactions to agricultural and industrial chemicals embedded in those fibers. Most people never realize wool is chemically treated. Stick around, because we'll break down what fabrics are actually safe at the very end. Coming in at number 3, we expose bamboo rayon, or bamboo viscose. The bamboo fabric trend exploded over the past decade, with aggressive marketing claiming eco-friendly, sustainable, naturally antibacterial miracle fabric. Brands like Booty, Cariloha, and Attitude sell bamboo sheets, bamboo clothing, bamboo towels with images of peaceful bamboo forests and promises of chemical-free natural luxury. The Federal Trade Commission had to step in. In a series of enforcement actions, the FTC issued issued fines and warnings to companies falsely marketing bamboo fabric as natural, eco-friendly, or sustainable. Here's why. Bamboo fabric isn't made from bamboo fibers. It's rayon manufactured from bamboo pulp using the exact same toxic chemical process as regular rayon: carbon disulfide, sodium hydroxide, sulfuric acid. These are the chemicals required to dissolve bamboo into a pulp that can be extruded into fibers. The finished product is chemically identical to regular rayon. It has no inherent antibacterial properties despite marketing claims. Once bamboo has been dissolved in toxic chemicals and processed into fabric, any natural properties of the bamboo plant are completely destroyed. For seniors, bamboo rayon presents identical chemical exposure risks as conventional rayon: the neurotoxic effects of carbon disulfide exposure, the respiratory irritation from chemical residues, the skin absorption of industrial solvents. But bamboo rayon adds an extra layer of deception through its marketing. You bought those bamboo sheets believing you were making an environmentally conscious, health-conscious choice. You paid premium prices for sustainable luxury. What you got was chemically intensive rayon with brilliant greenwashing. The silky soft texture feels luxurious. The fabric drapes beautifully and stays cool against your skin. These qualities come from the rayon manufacturing process, not from any inherent properties of bamboo. If you wanted truly natural bamboo fabric, you'd need mechanically processed bamboo linen, which is rare and expensive. The affordable bamboo products flooding the market are all rayon, all chemically processed, all carrying the same health risks as any other viscose fabric. Brands count on consumers not understanding the difference between bamboo plants and bamboo rayon fabric. They display images of forests and sustainability while selling chemically manufactured textiles. The FTC has repeatedly warned that this marketing is deceptive, but the bamboo fabric industry continues because it's profitable, and most consumers never learn the truth. That sustainable bamboo sheet set you bought for your guest room? It's rayon. The bamboo pajamas that promised natural comfort? Chemically processed rayon. The bamboo towels marketed as antibacterial? Just regular rayon that happens to start with bamboo pulp before being dissolved in toxic chemicals. Don't go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you shop for clothes forever. Now at number 2, formaldehyde-treated fabrics deserve serious attention. Formaldehyde is a known human carcinogen. The National Cancer Institute has linked it directly to nasopharyngeal cancer and leukemia. This is not controversial or disputed. Formaldehyde causes cancer, and it's used extensively in wrinkle-free, easy care, and permanent press clothing. Brands like Dockers, Van Heusen, Arrow, and countless others treat dress shirts, pants, and even bedding with formaldehyde resins to prevent wrinkling. They market this as low-maintenance convenience, no ironing required. Professional appearance straight from the dryer. What they don't prominently mention is that the crisp, fresh from the package look comes from soaking the fabric in carcinogenic chemicals. For seniors, formaldehyde exposure through clothing creates cumulative cancer risk on top of whatever environmental and dietary exposures you've already accumulated over decades. You wear that permanent press shirt for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. The formaldehyde off-gases slowly, and you inhale it. The chemical also absorbs through your skin during prolonged contact. Your body accumulates this carcinogenic exposure day after day, year after year. The symptoms start subtly: skin rashes that appear on your neck, your wrists, anywhere the treated fabric touches bare skin, respiratory irritation, persistent cough, sinus congestion that won't resolve, eye irritation, and headaches. Your doctor treats these symptoms individually without ever connecting them to your clothing. Dermatologists see formaldehyde-related contact dermatitis frequently, but rarely take the time to explain that your work shirts might be causing your skin problems. Formaldehyde sensitivity increases with exposure. The more you wear treated fabrics, the more reactive your body becomes. You might tolerate it for years before suddenly developing severe allergic reactions, seemingly out of nowhere. That's sensitization, your immune system finally recognizing formaldehyde as a threat and mounting aggressive responses. The wrinkle-free convenience seems worth it at first. You save time not ironing. Your clothes look professionally pressed, but you're trading that convenience for cancer risk and chronic chemical exposure. The crisp appearance masks formaldehyde slowly off-gassing from the fibers, entering your lungs with every breath, absorbing through your skin with every movement. Brands know formaldehyde is controversial. Some have started using alternative resins, but many continue using traditional formaldehyde treatments because they're effective and cheap. The label might say wrinkle-resistant or easy care without specifically mentioning formaldehyde, leaving consumers unaware of what chemical process created that convenience. Coming in at number 1, the worst category of all: synthetic synthetic blends with undisclosed chemicals. This is the most dangerous fabric category because of its complete lack of transparency. When a label says polyblend, performance fabric, or proprietary weave, you're looking at a chemical cocktail with minimal disclosure requirements. These fabrics combine multiple synthetics, polyester, spandex, nylon, with additional chemical finishes whose exact composition remains trade secrets. Brands like Columbia Sportswear, Under Armour, Nike, and even medical scrubs from Cherokee and Dickies use proprietary fabric blends with undisclosed chemical treatments. They advertise moisture wicking, odor control, antimicrobial protection, stain resistance. Every one of those properties requires chemical treatment. Antimicrobial finishes frequently use triclosan, a chemical linked to antibiotic resistance, or silver nanoparticles, which have been shown to cause cellular damage. The FDA banned triclosan from soaps in 2016 because of safety concerns, but it remains legal in textiles. You can't wash your hands with triclosan soap anymore because it's too dangerous, but you can wear it pressed against your skin for 12 hours a day. Stain-resistant finishes contain perfluorinated chemicals, or PFCS, the same forever chemicals found in Teflon. These chemicals never break down in the environment or in your body. They accumulate in your bloodstream, your organs, your tissues. The Centers for Disease Control has found PFCS in the blood of nearly every American tested. Wearing stain-resistant clothing adds to your body burden of these persistent toxins. For seniors, synthetic blends with undisclosed chemicals represent multiple simultaneous exposures. You're absorbing polyester microplastics, triclosan from antimicrobial treatments, PFCS from stain resistance, and potentially dozens of other chemicals the manufacturer isn't required to disclose. Your body is processing this chemical soup on top of your prescription medications. Your liver and kidneys, already working to filter your blood pressure medication, your cholesterol drugs, your diabetes treatments, now have to handle industrial textile chemicals too. Independent testing has repeatedly found undisclosed chemical residues in performance fabrics. A 2022 study by the Ecology Center tested athletic wear from major brands and found concerning levels of BPA, heavy metals, and plasticizers that weren't listed on labels. These chemicals migrate from the fabric into your sweat, then absorb back into your skin. You're literally marinating in a chemical bath while you exercise. The high-tech performance that brands advertise, the moisture wicking, the temperature regulation, the odor control, all of it comes from chemical treatments applied to synthetic fabrics. None of it is natural. All of it introduces chemical exposures your body wasn't designed to handle. That expensive athletic shirt that promises to keep you cool and dry? It's doing so by introducing endocrine disruptors, potential carcinogens, and microplastics directly into your largest organ. Your skin absorbs these chemicals. Your lungs inhale the off-gassing. Your body accumulates the residues over months and years of wearing these fabrics. Brands hide behind proprietary formulations and trade secrets. They're not legally required to disclose every chemical used in textile finishing. They market cutting-edge technology and superior performance while conducting an unregulated chemical experiment on every person wearing their products. What's the worst clothing reaction you've ever had? Drop it in the comments below. Statistics paint a grim picture. According to research published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives, the average American is exposed to over 200 synthetic chemicals daily through consumer products, with textiles being one of the primary sources. A study by the Stockholm University found that 1 in 4 clothing items from major retailers contains chemicals known to be hazardous to human health. The textile industry uses over 8,000 synthetic chemicals in processing and finishing fabrics, yet only a tiny fraction of these have been thoroughly tested for long-term health effects. For seniors, this chemical burden is particularly devastating. Your body's ability to detoxify and eliminate harmful compounds declines with age. The liver and kidney function that efficiently processed toxins when you were 30 struggles when you're 70. Meanwhile, you're taking multiple medications that also require processing by these same organs. Every chemically treated fabric you wear adds to the toxic load your body must handle. Blood pressure medications work less effectively when your system is overwhelmed filtering textile chemicals. Thyroid hormones fluctuate unpredictably when endocrine-disrupting flame retardants leach from your pajamas. Kidney function declines faster when you're absorbing industrial solvents from Rayon blouses. The promise on the label, the trust you place in familiar brand names, the belief that clothing regulations protect you, all of it has been weaponized by an industry that values profit over human health. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that Americans discard over 11 million tons of textile waste annually, with synthetic fabrics taking up to 200 years to decompose. During that time, these fabrics continue releasing microplastics and chemical residues into soil and water. creating environmental contamination that circles back to human health through food and drinking water. The clothing industry's betrayal isn't just personal, it's generational, affecting the health of people who won't be born for decades. Most people never learn how to fix this, but we'll break it down at the end of the video. After exposing 11 dangerous fabrics that betray your trust and compromise your health, it's time to talk about the 2 that actually deserve a place in your wardrobe. These are not perfect products, no mass-produced textile is, but they represent the highest standards currently available in the American market. They've been independently tested, they source transparently, and they deliver the actual health benefits that natural fabrics are supposed to provide. The first safe option is certified organic cotton. This isn't the same as conventional cotton we discussed earlier. Organic cotton is grown without synthetic pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers. It's processed without chlorine bleaching or formaldehyde treatments. Brands like Patagonia's Organic Cotton Line, Pact, and Boll & Branch use cotton certified by the Global Organic Textile Standard, or GOTS. This certification ensures the entire supply chain from field to finished garment meets strict environmental and health standards. Third-party testing confirms no pesticide residues, no chemical finishes, no toxic dyes. For seniors, certified organic cotton provides everything conventional cotton promised but never delivered. The fabric is genuinely soft and breathable. It regulates temperature naturally without chemical treatments. It wicks moisture without antimicrobial additives. Your skin can finally breathe without absorbing pesticides or industrial chemicals. The natural fibers reduce allergy and irritation risks dramatically. This is what cotton was supposed to be before industrial agriculture corrupted it with chemicals and shortcuts. When you put on a certified organic cotton shirt, notice the difference immediately. The fabric feels softer against your skin, not because of chemical softeners, but because the natural fibers haven't been damaged by harsh processing. The smell is clean and neutral, without that distinctive chemical odor of conventional cotton. For seniors with sensitive skin or respiratory issues, organic cotton eliminates the primary triggers of clothing-related reactions. The temperature regulation is superior to synthetic alternatives. Cotton naturally wicks moisture away from skin and allows air circulation, keeping you comfortable in both warm and cool environments. This is particularly important for seniors experiencing hot flashes or temperature regulation problems from medications. Organic cotton clothing typically costs more than conventional options, with t-shirts ranging from $20 to $40 and bedding sets from $100 to $300. But you're paying for genuine safety and proven health benefits, not marketing deception. GOTS. Certification requires regular audits and testing throughout the supply chain, ensuring that what you buy truly is organic and free from harmful chemicals. The certification also guarantees fair labor practices and environmental protection, meaning your purchase isn't contributing to exploitation or pollution. For seniors on fixed incomes, investing in a smaller wardrobe of high-quality organic cotton pieces is more economical long-term than repeatedly replacing cheap synthetic clothes that fall apart or cause health problems. The second recommendation is undyed, unbleached linen. Linen made from flax plants is one of the oldest textiles in human history, used for thousands of years because it works. When left in its natural state without dyeing or bleaching, linen requires minimal chemical processing. Brands like Linen Me, Eileen Fisher's Pure Linen Collection, and Magic Linen offer undyed, unbleached options in natural beige or gray tones. For seniors, linen's properties are unmatched by any synthetic. The fabric is naturally hypoallergenic. It's antimicrobial without chemical treatments because flax fibers naturally resist bacteria and fungi. It's incredibly breathable, wicking moisture away from skin better than cotton. It keeps you cool in summer and provides insulation in winter. Linen gets softer with every wash while maintaining its structural integrity. A quality linen garment can last decades. This is textile purity. No pesticides, no chemical processing, no deceptive marketing. Just plant fibers doing what they've done for thousands of years, protecting and clothing human bodies without poisoning them. The texture of natural linen is distinctive. It has a slight roughness when new, a crisp hand that speaks to its durability and authenticity. Unlike synthetic fabrics that feel slippery or clammy, linen has substance and character. As you wash and wear it, the fabric becomes increasingly soft while retaining its strength. For seniors with arthritis or limited dexterity, linen's durability means fewer replacements and less frustration with clothing that falls apart. The natural color variations in undyed linen, ranging from pale ivory to medium gray, come from the flax plant itself. These subtle color differences prove you're getting authentic, unprocessed fabric rather than chemically bleached material dyed to look natural. Linen's temperature regulation properties are unparalleled. The hollow flax fibers allow air circulation while wicking moisture away from skin up to 20% faster than cotton. For seniors dealing with temperature sensitivity from menopause, medications, or circulatory issues, linen provides comfort that synthetic performance fabrics can never match, all without chemical treatments or health risks. Natural linen typically costs more upfront, with shirts ranging from $60 to $120 and bedding from $150 to $400. However, linen's exceptional durability means a single quality piece can last 20 to 30 years with proper care, making it one of the most economical fabric choices long-term. The initial investment pays dividends in years of comfortable, healthy wear. Ever wondered why these two fabric types don't advertise as heavily as the synthetic brands that dominate store shelves? These two fabrics represent what clothing should be: grown without toxic pesticides, processed without harmful chemicals, and worn without compromising your health. They deliver the comfort, breathability, and safety that synthetic fabrics promise but never provide. For seniors managing chronic conditions, wearing authentic natural fabrics can reduce skin irritation, decrease respiratory symptoms, and eliminate hidden chemical exposures that interfere with medications. The difference between synthetic fabrics and natural fabrics isn't just about comfort or authenticity. It's about whether the clothing you wear is supporting your health or undermining it. The 11 fabric categories we exposed are actively contributing to inflammation, hormonal disruption, and toxic accumulation. The two fabrics we recommend are actively supporting your well-being with every wear. This is not a minor distinction. For seniors, it's the difference between managing your health successfully and watching it decline despite your best efforts. Textile fraud and chemical contamination are not new problems, and they won't be solved overnight. The fashion industry is too opaque, the profit margins too tempting, and the regulatory oversight too weak for dramatic change to happen quickly. But you don't have to wait for the system to fix itself. You can take control right now by choosing fabrics that have proven their safety and transparency. Certified organic cotton and natural linen are not perfect. No mass-produced textile can be, but they represent the best options currently available. They've earned their reputation through rigorous testing, transparent sourcing, and consistent delivery of chemical-free natural fibers. By supporting these fabric choices, you're not just protecting your own health, you're sending a message to the industry that consumers value safety and authenticity over cheap prices and false promises. The more seniors and health-conscious consumers choose real natural fabrics, the harder it becomes for chemical-laden synthetics to dominate the market. Your health is too important to gamble on fabrics that have been treated with carcinogens, manufactured from petroleum-based plastics, or processed with neurotoxic chemicals. The 11 fabric categories we expose today represent billions of dollars in annual sales, built on consumer ignorance and maintained through deceptive marketing. But now you know. You know which fabrics to avoid, you know what signs to look for, and you know which materials you can trust. Use this knowledge every time you shop. Read labels carefully, research fabric certifications, and don't be swayed by natural-sounding names or eco-friendly marketing without verification. The fabrics you wear affect your skin health, your respiratory function, your hormone balance, and your long-term health outcomes. It's not just about comfort or style. It's about whether you're protecting your body or exposing it to chemicals that accumulate over decades. Check your closet today. Look at the labels on your most worn items. Count how many contain polyester, acrylic, or other synthetics we've discussed. Consider the formaldehyde-treated permanent press shirts hanging in your closet, the flame-retardant pajamas in your drawer, the bamboo rayon sheets on your bed that promise sustainability but delivered chemical processing. Each item represents a choice, and now you have the information to make better choices moving forward. Start small. Replace one synthetic item with organic cotton or linen. Feel the difference. Notice how your skin responds. Pay attention to whether your respiratory symptoms improve or your mysterious rashes disappear. Your body will tell you what it needs once you stop overwhelming it with chemical exposure from every piece of fabric you touch. Subscribe now, and if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.